Here we are, January 2021. It's our first live stream in maybe 3 or 4 weeks. So, without further ado, to our audience out there, Happy New Year! I hope everyone's had a great end to 2020 and looking forward to hopefully a better year in 2021. We're very honoured today to have a wonderful guest join us, but we'll come to that shortly. Why don't we go through the co-hosts? So, Ollie and Jet, you guys are out there. Ollie, why don't you say hi?
Hi, everyone. Hope everyone had a good start to the year, and very excited to do the first live podcast, I guess, and with our first guest of the year, Eileen.
Absolutely. Right. Jet, why don't you say hello, and then we can lay into you a little bit.
All right. Hey, everybody. It's a nice 2021 start, and not so much for my football club, but yeah, everything is fine and dandy so far.
Cool. Eileen, before we get with Jet, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell all our listeners out there and our viewers what you do, and just a little bit about you, really.
Okay, sure. My name is Eileen Yao, and I'm a professional golf instructor. I've been playing since I was 8, and actually, I didn't know why I love the sport. Ultimately, maybe it was the travel, um, the adventures, and eventually I got my golf scholarship in the US. I studied in Long Beach State for 4 years as a student athlete. After which, I came back home, found my niche in the teaching arena. So currently, I've been teaching, I guess, more or less for 10 years now. Um, I'm very honored to be part of your first podcast of the year. So thank you for the invite, all. So there you go.
Eileen, we're very privileged to have you on, and I'm going to change the running order. We would now lay into Jet about Arsenal and what have you, but I think as you're the guest of honour, it's only fair that we start with you. So, you said you've been playing golf since 8, and it's a kind of a niche that you've fallen into, right? And you've been playing it ever since.
Yes. Yes. I've basically after college. I wasn't sure if I really wanted to pursue golf as a profession. Join the LPGA, join the tour because I had already during college already saw how hard it is to travel and play golf at the same time. So I felt that there's more to life than golf because back then I was already in the sport doing the sport for 15 years. So I came home, did my fair share working in the corporate arena. Then after 5 years or so, an opportunity came up to put up a golf school, which was Heartland Golf Schools in around sometime 2007. And when I had my very first lesson and I saw the smile on my student's face, that's when I knew it's very fulfilling. And this is the part of golf that I really want to pursue. So every time when a student comes to me, their goal is to really beat me. That's their ultimate goal. I said you have because as a teacher, that is your fulfillment when you see the progress and the improvement of your student. So recently, I've had the chance to teach you know people of all ages, of all races and classes. My youngest is a 6-year-old girl, and just recently I've had the privilege to teach a 61-year-old guy. So he's my oldest
Wow.
thus far. So he just took up the sport
Wow. Okay.
last October, and I'm proud to say he has improved a lot.
Perfect. Look, Eileen, before we go any further, Mike,
Yes, Paul.
are you wearing a Welsh
Just
away
say it,
football
Paul.
there?
Just say it, Paul.
Mate, I'm touched. You look a little bit like.
It took you a while. It took you a while to notice. Took you a while to notice.
I caught it straight away, but I didn't want to interrupt my lead, mate. I was being polite. You're looking
Very
like
good,
you're
very
looking like
good.
you're looking like a youthful Gary Speed when he was in his
Yeah,
prime.
he does, doesn't he? Eh?
Right, nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
mate, thank you so
Gary
much.
Speed. He's a good player, him.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he? He was. I love that.
Yeah, I got this from my friend. That was actually Welsh American, and he lived in Saudi Arabia. And I told him next time you go back home, I want a jersey. So he got me this. It's about 12 years old, but
Yeah,
I still like wearing it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lovely top. Kappa made, right? It was made by Kappa, I think. I'll have to get you a
Yeah.
Welsh rugby top.
See?
Okay.
That's very nice.
Okay. Eileen, maybe just share. So, what does the day-to-day of a golf professional look like? Because I think Ollie particularly has decided that this time next year he's going to become a golf professional.
Yeah, I think he was quite upset when you said that there's more to life than golf, because he's like, no, it's only golf.
Yeah.
I think he dreams golf right now. I have nightmares because I don't get good contact. So I'm probably going to drop by myself.
I can relate to that. I had that before.
Did you? Okay. It's good to know.
I did, yeah. Well, it would depend. Golf as a profession has two types: touring and teaching. So, on the touring side, so these are the players who join tournaments, right? Like Bianca Pagdanganan, Nika Sasa, Jennifer Rosales. A typical day for them, most likely they wake up at 6 a.m., go to the gym,
Mhm.
hit 1,000 balls, go to the fairway, and sleep.
Wow.
Yeah. So basically, that's it. It has been, I think, even during our junior golf days, that's how a typical day looks like for competitive golfers. Whereas in teaching, it's
Every
more
day,
laid
right?
back. Every day, every
And
day.
then you have the 4-day event. So
Right,
yeah,
right. So that's why I chose teaching because it's more laid back. You get to I have my own time. So I schedule at least maybe the most is 4 students in a day. So that's only like I only have like 6 hours of work um, on a typical day, and maybe spend time with my family or maybe play around with friends. So it's more laid back than because also now since golf is very competitive, you don't only play golf or practice. You also have to have cross training like swimming, um, maybe some does yoga, Pilates, plyometrics, all those stuff. So it's really it's not a 9 to 6 job. It's a 6 to 6 jobs, 6 to 6 day for 12-hour day for competitive players.
Cool. So, Jet, just so you know, Ollie, Mike, and myself, we played yesterday, and Ollie's a bit of a Ollie's a bit of a bandit, right? So, a bandit in golfing terms mean he says he'll play off like 30, but he'll actually play
Okay.
to 10. So he'll
Uh-huh.
win, right? He'll win. Jet, I'm just wondering, do you play at all, mate, or have you ventured into the golf world, or not in your stratosphere right now?
No, I'm familiar with golf because my sister and my brother-in-law played golf. They always had golf clubs around, lying around, and I would practice with the putting, but really hitting the ball in like so many yards. No, honestly I couldn't make that ball fly. I tried. I'm poor
That's what
at
you
it,
think.
and you have to have safety equipment if I'm going to hit a golf ball. If you
mate, you need to have lessons with Eileen, mate. That way you'll get into it.
Yeah, you should
I
have
can give
lessons.
you lessons, right? Actually, I'm currently in Army driving range. I just finished the lesson at 5 p.m.
Yeah,
So
we
my back
can
is
hear
Okay.
the noise of the golf balls being smashed.
Ollie's missing it.
Yeah,
You
you
can
should
see
get
Ollie's
Yeah,
missing
I'm
stronger.
it.
very quiet. So I'm thinking, you know what? I'll cut this one, and I'll see you in half an hour.
So, Eileen, we all, as a teacher, then, do you go to different ranges, or do you have a certain range that you stay on? How does it work?
Oh, basically, I meet my students halfway, but luckily enough, most of my students are from the south, so it's either I'm in Villamore or mini golf course. Why I chose the why I choose these two courses is because you have a full range and then you have a pitching and putting area. So it's you can get to practice or teach all the aspects in the game. You see, that's a challenge here for golfers in the metro. We have limited number of facilities that offer a pitching and a putting area. It's more of just the driving range, right? So, and you can only count them. What we only have less than 10 driving ranges here in Manila. So that's why they're all full now. Surprisingly, Army is from during business hours from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. They're full. They're full the whole day. So I think golf recently has been quite as booming here, I would say.
Eileen, if Jet or anybody else decides that they want to take up lessons with you, what's the best way to contact you? Are you on Facebook? Are you on LinkedIn, Twitter? What's the best way to do it? Oh, I think we've lost her.
I think
Maybe a golf ball might have.
ball must have flown in into the
Yeah. It was one of my
hit
tee
the
shots from
computer.
yesterday. Still flying now. So, okay.
It's one of the irons that was thrown around.
while we wait for Eileen to get back, guys, Mike, I can't give you an easy ride today, mate.
Please.
I really
come
can't.
on.
Right? I can't. Although I'm very grateful that you've worn the Welsh.
I've already had a tough ride.
My
It's already been tough. Oh, there we go.
Is she back, Eileen? She's rejoining. So yeah,
Look.
don't worry.
I think the whole team is having a. Okay.
Hi, Eileen. Carry on. Sorry. So you were saying, what
Hi,
was the
I'm
best way
back,
for people to get in touch with
guys.
you?
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's okay.
I'm on Facebook and LinkedIn. So in Facebook, you can search my name. It's Aileen Rose G Yao, and I'm friends with Ollie. So you can just go to Ollie's page and search me from his page.
And search it up.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I would
I'll do
love,
that.
one of
Me
my
too.
advocacy actually is to expand golf here in the Philippines. That's why one of my end game is to put up a golf school in the next
Nice.
year or so.
Wow. I'm sure
Very
that's
nice.
a conversation to have with Ollie. I know how much he's into his golf at the
Yeah.
moment. Cool.
Yeah, I
At the rate I'm
Honestly,
improving, I'll be your first student, I think.
I
Oh,
do
please
have a
go
question.
ahead. Please do. Please contact me anytime. Go ahead.
Go on, Jack.
What is the best age for somebody to pick up golf? What's the earliest age, and what's the best? Is it like 6, 7 years old that they should start picking it up, or it will be really bad to pick it up at this stage, like mine, my age right now.
No, like I said, there's what one thing good about sport is that it's a sport for all ages. Like as I've
Mhm.
mentioned, my oldest student is 61 years old. Once I taught an 89-year-old. So it really doesn't matter what age you start, for as long as you are dedicated and determined to excel, but not really excel, but at a certain point when a person reach when a person starts, let's say, around 20s or 30s,
Mhm.
their goal is just to make friends and to network and to play leisure golf. And but if you want to, if you're speaking of competitive golf, I would say the best way to start is around 10 or 11, because it's around that age wherein kids are more serious when it comes to lessons. 6 or 7 year olds are very playful per se, so they just run around the golf course, but once you're 10 or 11, they're more mature. They're more mature in understanding um, the the coach or even basic etiquette of golf.
And longer attention span. Am I correct?
Yes, and they're more a 10 or 11 year old are more
Mhm.
um I would say they're already sure or they're already sure of what they want. Whereas with 6 or 7, it's just play for them, right? So I would say I would prefer kids who are 10 to 11 to
Mhm.
to start golf in order for them to play competitively.
Cool.
Okay.
And how long do you think? Let's just say an adult started from scratch. How long do you think it
Uh-huh.
would take, maybe, for them to be like single digits?
Well, it would depend on the learning curve of the adult, but I would say a year or two. But you have to practice like every single day,
Yeah.
6 times a week. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I would say a year
Well,
would be good
Ollie's
enough.
trying.
He's
Ollie's
starting
getting there.
actually.
Yeah, he's
He's
playing a
been
lot.
all over. Been playing a lot.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
really hitting balls helps a lot, huh? Just going to the
I,
driving range and getting on the course.
What? Sorry.
Sorry, like really practicing and going on to the driving range and getting on the course helps a lot. It's not like you can
Yes.
just.
Actually, I prefer when you, I would say 3 times a week of the fairways and 3 times a week in the driving range. So you do that alternatively, because in the range you get to practice certain areas only, specific areas, whereas in the fairway is really you are um applying what you are doing in the driving range. So I would say
Mhm.
that you have to do it equally, practice equally.
Okay. And for non-golfers, I always find this interesting because people, like you think about golf, you think about distance
Right.
as a beginner, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
how do you get the distance? Because I mean, in reality, it's not like someone that's big and strong and is gonna get massive distances. So
Right.
is it
Well, the trick there basically is you really have to grip it lightly, all right? And for men, their strength comes from the arms or the upper body, while for
Yeah.
women, it's more of what triggers the forward swing is the hips. So if you look at Bianca Pagdangan's swing very closely, her hips, her downswing or her forward swing is very very fast. The twist of her lower part is very very fast
Mm.
compared to a normal golfer. So for men, again, it's the upper body strength, upper body or the arms. That's the trick there.
yeah, I think that's what
So
Paul has. I mean, he was smashing them 200 plus yards, but when it came to the
yeah.
chipping, he couldn't chip more than 2 yards. So yeah,
I had I had chips going backwards, mate. My wedges were in reverse. Yeah, I've got to
You
practice
guys
that.
play a
I've got
lot?
to
You
practice
guys
it.
play with Ollie every day?
That
No, no,
was the first time we played on yesterday.
every day.
All of us three.
I, I, Eileen, we are mere mortals. Mike, Jet, and I. We have to work every day. Unlike Ollie, who can come and go as he pleases. So yeah, we don't have the flexibility that Ollie has. But I must admit, your background now looks amazing. With the floodlights hitting the
Oh,
range. That
thank
looks
you.
wonderful.
Thank you. So
Looks
basically,
wonderful.
this is the putting green of Army. So the
Okay.
putting green is behind me. So yeah, it's really amazing. The back Army is actually has improved a lot lately. They're under new management, and there are a lot of people playing here actually, especially during the weekends. They had a pro am tournament yesterday. I think they would average around 100 or 150 players on Saturdays and Sundays.
Wow.
Wow,
Wow.
Yeah,
It's a lot.
that's a lot.
it
That is a
is. It
lot.
is a lot. Yeah, and then like I mentioned, the driving range is full from opening till closing time. So that's 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. So
Yeah, why don't
a
they
lot
make
of
it open later?
I think
Because I,
because
I
of
I'd
the
go.
I think because of the health protocol here in the camp. So they're just open from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Pre-pandemic, they were open until 9, and sometimes you can hit until 10 p.m. But I guess they
Hmm.
because of the pandemic, they have to lessen business hours to have shorter business hours.
Yeah, it's part of the
Okay.
protocol, Mike. I think in the current pandemic, right? So
So,
I see.
Yeah.
hopefully,
where's the best courses in the Philippines? You
wherever
recommend?
wherever Ollie plays.
Personally, I would say, well, one of my favorite right off the bat would be Santa Elena.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Santa Elena. Second, I would say I love old courses, so I would say Valley Golf, or maybe
Okay.
I'm just biased because I grew up playing there. Um,
Okay.
third, third, I would say Casey Casey Hillcrest, Tat Filipinas. It used to be Casey
Ah.
used to be called Tat Filipinas. So Tat Filipinas, yeah. How about you guys? What's your favorite course here in the Philippines?
Ollie, that's one for you, mate. I've only played Casey Filipinas with you yesterday, so I can't
I'll,
I can't
I'll,
comment, mate. So,
I'll let Mikey go first. He's played it on a few already.
Um, I guess I like yeah, Subic International. I
Mm-hmm.
like that quite a bit. Yeah, but also Sun Valley. But I've only done
Right.
like four. Oli knows more, to be honest. Um, yeah, go ahead, Oli. Shed some light.
Yeah, I guess not in order. It'd probably be Puerto Azul, where we've just been speaking to Mike on the other podcast.
Right.
Definitely Subic International. I mean, both courses are quite similar in a way, in terms of the rainforest and the actual layout. Yeah, Sun Valley, because that's where I hit 80 on Christmas Day. I just want to add to everyone.
Correct.
Um, and then I think yeah, Splendido is one as well, because that was a beautiful course in Tagaytay, very challenging. And yeah, Santa Elena as well, because it's just yeah, the greens are great, and it's just a great course to play on.
Oh,
Ollie,
sorry,
if,
I
if
forgot to add one of the
sorry, Ollie.
courses that is sorry for interrupting. I just
No, it's fine.
remembered one of the nice courses that is so underrated because it's pretty far that I think golfers should go to is Calirayu Springs. Weather's
Hmm.
perfect. It's a championship course. Last time I went there, it was raining for 2 days, and the greens were better than Santa Elena. The drainage system, their maintenance is really good. So I would also recommend Caliraya Springs in Laguna.
Nice.
Okay.
Okay. Is that open to the public? Can we
It is. It is. It is actually. Just let me know. I can work on some arrangements there. But in order for you to enjoy Kaliraya, I suggest that you do that overnight. Don't
Ah,
it's pretty far. It's pretty far. It's like a 3 or 4 hour drive from Manila.
Oh, wow.
So, but it's all worth it. It's all worth it.
Yeah, definitely add it
Yeah,
to
let me
my
know.
list.
Also going to Kaliraya. Yeah.
So, Ollie, if you could only play one more course tomorrow and that would be it, you wouldn't be allowed to play any more courses in the Philippines. So, only one course, mate. Which course would it be and why? Oh, that's a tough question, huh?
I
Oh
know.
and
man.
who would you bring with you?
Who would I bring
You
with
go.
me? Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Eileen,
Uh,
let's have Ollie go first because I'm sure you've probably played a lot more courses than Ollie. So,
okay,
Ollie,
okay.
why don't you go? Eileen, give you a bit more time to think about your answer.
Um, what the courses I've played in already, right? I can't. Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess so. Yeah,
yeah,
I
of
mean,
course. You can't choose a course you've not played.
well, anyway, no, but anyone listening out there, that's a member of Anvaya Golf Club. Please invite me because I would really love to play on that course. Uh, it's just I don't have any friends that are members there, so I, I think because we've been talking to Mike, right?
Yeah,
Before. I think Puerto Azul, once that's up and running properly, look, it's the rainforest, it's in the mountains, and it's by the sea. For me, I think that's probably the golf course that I would play. I mean, I guess second would be Subic International. Um, but yeah, Puerto Azul for me at the moment.
and you actually when we were playing yesterday, you did mention how nice the sandwiches are at Subic, right?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, mate.
Yeah.
When I take over the golfing world in the Philippines, I'm going to do the awards for best sandwiches, and I think Subic might win the BLT one.
Oh, really? I haven't tasted
Yeah,
it.
it's amazing BLTs.
All
Cool.
right, for
All right,
me,
Eileen,
I
how
think
about it? Go on.
question. I think I would go with Caliraya Springs. Because for if Puerto Azul, if Ollie says Puerto Azul because of its scenery and all, I would say Caliraya has the best weather and it's very peaceful out there. Um, it's just really pretty. Although they need some improvements with their clubhouse because um, but the golf course itself is really really pretty and the people
Right.
are very hospitable. So I would say Kaliraya, definitely
Perfect.
Kaliraya.
Perfect.
How's their
Eileen,
sandwich?
thank you so. How's the
How's their sandwich?
how's the sandwich, Eileen? Is it nice?
Pardon, sorry.
And how's the food? How's the sandwich
There you go.
at Caliraya? Yeah,
Oh, they don't have sandwiches, unfortunately. They only have Filipino breakfast. Um,
that's still
their
good. I'll take that.
their longanisa, their Filipino sausage, longanisa is very very good. The look because it's authentic lukban longanisa, and it's always sold out.
Okay, there you go. I
Excellent.
think that's the next award winner.
Right there, right. The Loganisa. We've got to go.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
reason
Yeah,
for Oli to go there.
yeah,
Yeah.
all the more reason. Yeah, and
Absolutely.
it's the weather's perfect. It's better than Tagaytay, I would say.
Nice.
Weather's better than Tagaytay all year round. So
Nice.
I
Cool.
definitely. You guys should go there one of these days. We have
Yeah, I
to
think
set.
we
We
Sure,
have
should.
to
You
sure.
know, I was
get
quite surprised there's so many golf courses here, and around the Philippines as well. I think we have about 50. Um, and yeah, it's amazing how many we have. So I think all he said he wanted to go to all of them and play them this year. I mean,
He said,
he was
Wow.
hoping there was no COVID. I mean, this is like without COVID, obviously, but
Right.
that's his. That's why he works so hard, so he can just pop to the golf course.
Hey, you know what?
he
I
said,
might go to this course next week. Actually, you're selling it to me, so I'm going to drive 4 hours just to play there, and hopefully they might get a sandwich ready for me.
no, you want the breakfast, mate. Longanisa is what you want.
Yeah, you have
That's
to
just
try the
Yeah, there you go.
longanisa. All right,
that's
I'll
just your
talk to
breakfast.
my
Barcelona.
friend and arrange your accommodation in Caliraya. You love the hospitality of the people there. It's really nice. Oh, and also they're building another golf course. Caliraya Springs will be a 36-hole golf course in the near future. Mega
Wow.
World is developing um, a community there called the Hamptons. So it's right by the golf course. So it's something to look forward to
Okay.
as well.
Yeah, sounds great. Where is this? I don't know where Caliraya is. 4 hours seems a long way away.
Okay, Caliraya is located in a town in Laguna called Cavinti.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
you'll be passing through Ayala Green Fields and then just drive all the way. Um, I think it's around an hour and a half or two from Ayala Green Fields with traffic. With traffic. So it's surprisingly when the first time I went there, when I woke up in the morning, I was so surprised of how many people, how many tourists or visitors they had during the weekend. We had to um we had accommodations or are booked a month in advance in Caliraya. So but it's worth it. It's worth the trip.
Mhm.
I would definitely go back there over and over again.
It's
If I had
Okay, good.
112 kilometers away from Pasig, so it depends on sort of Metro Manila. So
yeah.
yeah, around two
Have you
hours
been there, Chet?
drive. No, but we do bike. We ride our
Thought
bikes
you would.
and we do the Laguna Loop. It's
Yeah.
180 kilometers. So yep, been there, but not in Caliraya itself in the golf course. I never tried the Longanisa, so I just went around the bike.
Yeah, you
Soon.
can you can ride going to Caliraya and then go to the golf course and have their longanisa.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
good idea. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think with the mayor of Cavinti, he has this, I'm not sure or if it's his or a friend recommended this resort called Aquascape, and you can
Hmm.
Google it. You can rent out a floating house. So
Wow.
it's a house on a raft,
Okay.
and you go
I
around the
think my
lake.
friends were there this weekend. Yeah,
Yeah,
they had a good time. It looked really nice, actually.
it is. It is.
Yeah. My friend doesn't play golf, so I don't know if he went to the golf course, but he did say that it was really nice over there. I do want to check out a lot more places. But Chet, going back to you, how long does it take you to bike the Laguna Loop?
Uh, 12 hours. That's
Wow.
180 kilometers. Yep, that are 12 hours. 10 to 12 hours. It will depend on if it's a weekday, it's a lot longer because you have to go through some towns of Laguna where you're going to be stuck in some form of traffic or be slowed down by traffic. But yeah,
Okay.
it's going to be around 10 to 12 hours.
And how often do you do that?
Uh, we try to do it like once a week or once a month. For example, for this month, I've already done the Tanay Loop, which is 130 kilometers. And so we're going to plan the Laguna Loop again because we have a target of 2021 kilometers for this year. It stands for 2021. So we have to cover that distance. That's why we are familiar with Caliraya. Yeah, plus it's a famous resort, and there are a lot of nice places in Laguna, and also in Tanay. So a lot of nature stuff. So 12 hours, 10 to 12 hours. Tagaytay is like 8 hours. It's 150 50 kilometers. I've done that loop too. It's 150 kilometers, 8 hours. So
Okay, and how do you train for that?
you just ride your bike every day. You go. You make sure that you go up some inclines. I normally go to Antipolo, so I get trained with the uphill uh, level, and then of course once you're up in the mountains, the oxygen's a lot thinner, so you have to get used to it. So bits and pieces. You do 50 to 70 kilometers on a weekend, 30 kilometers on a weekday, 3 times a week, and then you
That's why
rest. So,
it's
and then you go 180, 150
kilometers on
kilometers.
weekend, 30 kilometers on a weekday, 3 times a week, and then you
That's
rest.
why.
So, and then you go 180, 150 kilometers.
Okay.
Weekend, 30 kilometers on a weekday, 3 times a week, and then you rest.
There's
So, and then
Someone's Ollie, can you turn it off?
okay, 30 kilometers on a weekday, 3 times a week, and then
Oops.
you rest.
Ollie,
we're like in a
I
Chinese
think
movie.
you're.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think we're hearing a lot of feedback there. Okay, that's interesting. I always wondered, do you guys do any stretching for biking, or you just get on and you
Yeah,
just
you,
get
you, you
moving?
warm up and then you do stretching, a lot of leg stretching and core stretches because that's going to play. Your core is very important when you ride your bike. And nutrition, you always have like a power bar or like a chocolate bar with you. So every hour, if you're going to do 100 kilometers plus, you need to replenish yourself or have some form of sustenance every hour, so you don't get wasted or knackered during the course.
And then do you stop somewhere and have lunch or something, or do you just
Yeah.
keep
Mhm.
going?
You
Okay.
Well, for the Tanay loop, we just kept going. We just stopped for like some photos. We just kept going. And then for Laguna, you really have to stop because it's going to be like 10 hours or 12 hours. So you're going to need to replenish yourself with proper food. But you just get to rest like 30 minutes. You don't want to rest too long because you're going to get cold. Your muscles are going to be stiff. So you want it to keep it. You want to keep going.
Yeah, right. And then, how about you, Eileen? When you're doing golf, what kind of stretches would you recommend?
Hmm.
Well, I would say just the basic stretching, stretches that we do when we go to the gym. I think stretching is very important, not only in golf but for all sports. The reason I say this because I injured my back 15 years ago, and
You did.
that
What
was
happened? I got a bad back myself.
oh, okay. So I was in this tournament, and then I think it was on my 14th. When I was on my 14th hole, when I did my backswing, I just heard my back pop. You know, and ultimately
Oh,
I had to finish the tournament. But I was in pain for around a week or so. Then when I had my back checked, the first thing that the doctor asked me is, "Do I stretch?" And my answer is no, because it wasn't a prerequisite when I started. So right now, with all my students or my friends, I always recommend stretching. And I would say if you have the time, basic yoga, a 10-minute yoga really helps also, because it strengthens the core, right? So,
Hmm.
for again, for golfers, it's you have to stretch before and after playing. Otherwise, this is just to prevent injury. I should know because
I
I
don't know many
injured.
people that do after, to
Yeah,
be
for
honest.
me,
Yeah.
with all, I would agree with you on that. That's why, again, with all my students, especially with kids, we stretch before and after. Now with adults, before they leave, before I let them go, they need to stretch. They really need to stretch. I don't want to be the reason for their injury, right? So, prevention is better than cure. That's my mantra when it comes to sports, or when it comes to health. That's why, um, like cycling or biking, um, stretching is really important.
Hmm.
Is weight training necessary in golf? I mean, because I know Tiger Woods is very much into weight training when, especially on his during his peak years, and it was like kind of different.
It would help. Weight training helps, but you have to know, make sure that the trainer, but we have to make sure that we are training or developing the right muscles. We have to develop or strengthen our golf muscle. So when I did weight training, when I was still playing competitively or when I was in college, we have golf specific weight training. So it's not just just random weight, you do deadlifts, stuff like that. It has to be golf specific. So otherwise it doesn't make sense if you do weight training and it's not golf specific, or if you're not developing the right muscle for the
Mhm.
sport.
What
That's
is the most important muscle for golf, do you think? Or, yeah, not you think, but in general, the general opinion.
For me, for men, again, I guess, since strength of men comes from the arm, so I recommend that you develop your arm muscles, and core. For women, it's more of the legs, so lower body strength. So it's, again, I would also say core and legs for women, and then arms for the men.
Okay. That
I,
explains
I
why Paul was getting his guns out yesterday, smashing them left, right, and centre.
just call me Corporal Catherall, mate, because I was going left, right, left, right, left, right, right. I wasn't going straight at all. And those, honestly, those my chip in, ugh, hated it. Hated it.
Did you
That's wrong
guys
to say
enjoy
I hated it.
KC?
Yeah, it was great.
Did you
Great
guys?
course. First time I played it. Great course. Great course.
How
Yeah, I
about
had
the
a great
food?
time. I really liked it. We didn't finish
The food's good.
though.
How
Yeah,
about the
yeah, we had
food?
the sandwiches.
All
You had the
right.
sandwiches, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, a bit too
that's
much
yeah,
sauce on it, but apart from that, they were decent.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
The sandwiches. All you've got a
Only
one
the
track
sandwich
mind when
connoisseur of
it's
golf
just food,
clubs.
right?
Of golf
Now
clubs.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
have my awards, mate. The best sandwiches at the golf
Yeah,
courses.
no. And listen, I think it's important because it's prevalent to me, right? I've not been playing that long, so I don't own clubs. But at KC, and I think the majority of golf courses in the Philippines, you can actually go and hire clubs, right? So even though if you don't have clubs, you don't feel that you can't go and play. You can always go and hire them. And honestly, the customer service that I had yesterday at KC Filipinas was second to none. I was really impressed with kind of the whole end-to-end process. I know that maybe not everybody in our party had the same experience, but I was pretty happy with what I got. So, yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Eileen, if you don't mind, I do need to pivot a little bit more to to football and give Jet and Mike
Oh,
some
sure,
of you.
no
Although
problem, no problem, no problem.
we'll come back to this. This shouldn't take long at all. But first things first, Jet.
Yeah.
I think at the moment you guys are you happy with what you're seeing from an Arsenal perspective? How about Ozil
Well,
going? Are you happy about that or?
well, it's also going is freeing up, some funds for other players. But the problem is, I don't think we're signing anybody. The one that we have is coming from Real Madrid, which is on loan. Uh, I If we're not gonna get more players, we are doomed. We already have another goalkeeper again on loan, but I mean, what's the point of having Ozil go to Fenerbahce and free up that 350,000 a week salary and giving it to somebody? But if we're not gonna get any player that we need, I still believe that we are still lacking a number 10. I mean, Emil Smith Rowe is doing a good job as a number 10, but after Emil Smith Rowe, there's nobody. We no longer have a Ramsey or anybody like that. So we still need to sign another player.
I've heard him referred to as the most unlucky like footballer there is. Apparently he looks more like he should be an H&M model rather than a footballer. I don't know, mate, to be honest with you, but there we go. So listen, we're going to give you an easy ride today because
why?
You
can keep talking to him.
Well,
you don't need
to. Hey, don't talk about my weight like that.
In terms of expectation, I think Arsenal are doing all right.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, mate. I can't let you.
Look,
even though
we were expecting this. We don't have a defense. We don't have a defense. So
even though you tried to put me up with a Welsh cop. Come on then.
I mean, look, I think everyone's a bit lost. We don't know what to do. I mean, Allison is he's looking like Mignolet, in my opinion. He's going out and trying to be a sweeper, making bad decisions. Our fullbacks are not playing the same way. We don't have any real centre backs. I mean, what do you expect, really? I guess we held it as long as we could, but no one's back, so this is what's going to happen. The only hope I have is that, I'm getting a lot of problems from Man U fans right now. Even Man U fans that I haven't spoken to in a long time are still reaching out to me and being like, "Hey, remember me? Yeah, you guys are not doing too well. Thanks, mate." So yeah, it's tough. I just really don't want Man U to win the league.
Nobody wants Man U to win the league, and I think nobody here wants Man U to win the league.
I'm not going to comment. I've got friends that are Man U fans. I got friends that are Liverpool fans. I got friends that are Man City fans. All I care about is the sooner Villa reach that 40-point mark. That's all I care about, honestly. That's it. And I think after the win that we had against Newcastle on Saturday, we're now sitting on 29 points with a couple of games in hand.
Mate,
so
you're
win
5 points behind Liverpool. Like, you could be in the Champions League.
Well, I didn't want to bring that up because Mike's wearing, a Welsh shirt and he's looking a little bit like the late Gary Speed. Although I noticed that if we do win our 2 games in hand, we will actually be above Liverpool, fighting for that Champions League spot. And, to a certain extent, that saddens me because I'm great friends with Mike. To another extent, get in!
It could be a West Midlands finale, Leicester Aston Villa fighting it out.
But the number 1, number 2, and then United and City 3 and 4. I'll take that, mate. Honestly, Ollie, I'm not joking, mate. From my perspective, from a Villa perspective, not Villa. For me, even if we stay in the Premier League by goal difference alone, more or less like we did last season, I'll take it. I will take it. I think Dean Smith this season has done a wonderful job. His acquisitions have been fantastic. Ross Barkley, was a great purchase, although I know we've only got him on loan. And Traore as well. He's kind of really stepped up to the plate recently. I think he's got 4 goals in the last 6 games. And Grealish, I know there's some players, I know there's some critics out there of Grealish, and I do feel he's got opportunities to sometimes release the pass a little bit sooner. But in terms of his overall creativity, he's wonderful at the moment. He's absolutely wonderful. So, yeah, we just got to keep out the core of our players fit, and get to that 40 points marker sooner rather than later. So
you got a Watkins as well, right? I mean, he's still banging goals.
Yeah.
He scored.
Is he?
Yes, on Saturday. Yeah, he scored yesterday against Newcastle. But he'd not scored. He'd gone on a bit of a barren run. He'd not scored for about 8 or 9 games, I think. Or was it? I'd heard it. Was it 8 or 9 games? Can't be 8 or 9 games. He'd not scored recently. So, to see him banging in against Newcastle, I was happy with that. Although I don't know what's going on with Newcastle at the moment, mate. But they're a little bit all over the shop, right? But Mike, this doesn't escape the fact from Liverpool's conversation. So let's kind of go back to that. So with the current league positions now, right? What are your what do you want to see from your Liverpool team at the end of the season? What's your expectations, mate? Realistically,
I want Champions League. I think we need to keep that for sure.
Would you say you've lost the Premier League?
Defending the title. Yeah, I would say so.
So it's going to be a Manchester affair for the Premier League.
You know what this reminds me of, right? It reminds me of when Liverpool won the league, right? And everyone's going, yeah, Jurgen Klopp this, Liverpool that, right? But no one actually no one took into account the amount of injuries Man City had, right? If they kept all their players, I'm not against Liverpool. Well, maybe I am. But they would have won the league. But now it's obviously Liverpool's turn to. Oh yeah, I had people messaging me going, "Oh fucking hell," Van Dijk's been injured. It's like, well, okay, if you're that great of a club, you'd find someone to replace him. Do you know what I mean? I think Liverpool's had their run, and maybe they got a bit complacent to keep on playing. I mean, look at Trent, man. He looks like he's worn out. He's probably played about 200 games in a row, right? Yeah. Replace the bugger, give him a break.
My question is...
Yeah, I mean, look, last season we didn't have enough... we hardly had any injuries.
But you kept on playing the same players, right? It'd be like the same 11 all the time.
Exactly. So time has caught up. I mean, that's wear and tear. How can you play with the same lineup all the time?
I have a question. I mean, is it Jurgen Klopp's fault? Because I believe that this has a very similar situation when he was in Dortmund, when his key players all left for either Bayern Munich or another club, and lost a lot of the key players that he had. And it was this lack of foresight, or has he been found out in tactic?
Found out.
Found out. So
yeah, no, that's a good phrase. Found out.
Tactic. I don't know. I don't think he had other ways to change it up. I think he had. Well, yeah, he doesn't have really a plan B. I think it was just the same team, and then have them go out on the field and do the same thing and the best of what they do. But then there's no way to change that and to rearrange. And we don't have enough. We don't have any backups, any versatility in the team. I mean, even if you go on, if you look at the lineups, you wouldn't say, okay, I'll take even that bench is a shoe-in for Man City, like you would with the Man City squad, right? They have so many players that you'd be like, okay, these guys, like even the second team could play against the first team and win. So we're not built like that, I mean, I was always surprised that we were doing so well because we got these players that seemed like they weren't superstars and then they became superstars. I think FIFA even had a tough time catching on because they were like, oh, well, how come this player is playing so well in real life? But we had him as a 86, but in real life he's like a 92. And then, yeah, I mean, Thiago is the only one that came in that you're like, okay, he's great. I mean, Salah kind of came into his own, but we just don't have that big of a squad, and I think people forgot that because of the way we play and you know the success that happened in a year, in a season. But yeah, we need to go out and buy and get players that are willing to challenge. Maybe the players that didn't want to join, they'd either want too much money or they didn't want to join because they didn't think they could get a place. Maybe this will be good for for us to buy in the summer. I don't know. We'll see. But I do know that I'm not going to be one of the Liverpool fans saying we're definitely going to win this season. I don't think that's. I'm not going to be that optimistic. Unfortunately, I've been through a lot of our pains. So yeah, I know when to sit down and wait for us to be winning again.
I don't think this is going to be your year, mate, is it?
Nah, I don't think so.
I will be surprised if Leicester wins it again. I mean, we've been talking about Man United, Man City, and Liverpool, and here they are again. They're the third. This happened the last time. They were just roaming around in that spot, and then they took the Premier League. So
and then,
I thought they were like runaway winners.
Mhm.
That's how it felt to me last time.
No.
Okay.
And worryingly for teams other than Leicester, Maddison has just hit form, right? He's started to score. He's gone like 4 in 4 or something like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, but they've lost Vardy though, I think, for a few.
Vardy's out, isn't he? Yeah.
And he's quite key to the how they play.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're right, mate. What about relegation, guys? So there's Sheffield United, was it Fulham, and is it West Brom? They're kind of in the bottom three at the moment, and they're struggling, right? What do we think? Do we think those are the three that are going to go down? Are we worried about Newcastle falling into that trap? Have Burnley turned the corner? What do you think?
I think Sheffield United will drop, but I think Fulham will survive and Brighton will drop.
Really? Brighton to go down?
Yeah.
Wow.
Brighton?
Where are they? Oh, yeah, 17.
17.
Yeah, 17. Yeah, okay. If Fulham win their game in hand, they'll be on 15. I think West Brom are dead. Sheffield United, yeah. I mean, yeah, not a fan of Sheffield United.
Well, they had one win all season.
Yeah.
Sheffield United.
I think so.
One win, right?
5 points. You know, I'll tell you an interesting stats, guys. Every season, I always bet on a team to get relegated. And so last season, it was Sheffield United. And the fuckers, like, were top 8? So now, when I don't bet on them, they can't even, like, win a game. It's ridiculous. And it's happened to me, I think, 4 times. Hull was another one. Yeah, I've lost, so much money on don't gamble.
I was going to say, I think the moral of the story there, Ollie, is don't gamble. Don't bet on Sheffield United. Just don't gamble in general. Cool. So, listen, guys. I guess nobody can comment on this apart from me, but the Six Nations starts soon in the next couple of weeks, and for a Welsh rugby, any rugby fan, given the current situation, the fact that they're going to be. No, so the Six Nations will be in the home nations and also in France. I forget what the fixtures are this year. But at the moment, there's still no fans allowed. And obviously, the Gallagher Premiership is currently, well, it's not the Premiership, but European rugby is currently suspended because of the rising COVID cases in France. But yeah, I'm excited to see the return of the International Rugby Union. And there's also talk that the British Lions tour that was meant to happen last year is now happening this year, is now going to be held in the UK. It was meant to be in South Africa.
Oh, wow.
But it doesn't look like it's going to happen because of COVID. So we'll see, which is a shame that, one of the main hallmarks of the British Lions Tour is that you can go to the likes of New Zealand, Australia, and South Africa and play there every 4 years, right? So yeah, that's going to be a bit of a shame.
I mean, Paul, why are you excited? Because like, do Wales have a chance? I thought they were always still improving.
Ollie, I swear, there's sometimes that I love you as a brother. There's other times where I can happily smash your face in.
Well, I was saying that I saw them in the World Cup semis, and I genuinely thought they were unlucky. There was probably three moves where they could have got that game right. But yeah.
So you're right, mate. We lost. Well, Warren Gatland left us at the start of last season, which is a shame. He was a great coach, and he really took us from not obscurity, but he took us from some dark places to win. I think it was 3, maybe 4 Six Nations title in the span of 10 years, which is a great return on investment. And he also took us to two Grand Slams. I may be wrong in those numbers. So we've had a change of coach. We've had some aspects. We've had some changing of the guard with players. We didn't have the best autumn internationals, to be honest with you. We got first game against England, we got absolutely stuffed. And then we had a decent result against Georgia. And even though we played England again and lost, the performance in everybody's mind had improved. So honestly, from a Six Nations perspective, mate, as long as we don't finish bottom, I'll take it. And as long as we're not embarrassed by results, as long as we put up a decent fist of things, and we don't get turned over too much by the likes of England, France, and Ireland, then I'll be pretty happy with that. France at the moment, France seems to have just hit the groove at the right time. They've got Sean Edwards in from Wales as their defence coach. France have always had the flair to play excellent rugby, but they've never had the discipline. Over the past, since Sean has stepped into his defensive role, the discipline has returned, which has then allowed them to really express themselves when they get the ball. And with the World Cup, I think that's going to be in France. France looking the team to beat. Yeah, so France, France, England and Ireland, those are your top 3 when it comes to Six Nations, in my opinion, for 2021, mate. If we get anything, if we finish anywhere above 3rd in the table, I'll be happy with that. So, yeah.
All right.
There we go. Yeah, you shouldn't have got me on that topic, mate. I can talk about that topic for hours and just bore people to death.
Who's your
good to learn something.
On that note, who's your favourite Welsh player of all time?
Of all time?
Yeah.
So I'm torn with 2, and they played at the same time. It's Robert Jones and Jonathan Davis. So Jonathan Davis was one of the first Welsh amateur players to go to rugby league, because rugby league at the time was a professional game, and then he came back. Jonathan Davis is a gift from God. Seriously, nobody used to play the rugby union game like him. And even rugby league fans out there, he scored one, if not the best try in rugby league history when Great Britain played Australia, and he got the ball out on the wing and he threw this outrageous dummy and then just sprinted for the line. It's regarded as one of the best rugby league tries of all time. So yeah, Jonathan Davis and Robert Jones, and there's this clip of Robert Jones doing a reverse pass between his legs to Jonathan Davis. It's from years ago. I mean, like 20 something like years ago. But it's one of my best pieces of rugby union. I could watch that forever and a day. Yeah. So there you go. How about that? You weren't expecting that, were you? For me to be able to rattle off like that.
You're definitely a proper fan now.
Man, I love it. When I lived in the UK, Darcy, my daughter, would never watch rugby with me because I get that passionate. I scream and shout at the TV. And I remember once, she was 3 or 4. She was holding my hand. We were watching Wales play, and we nearly scored a try. And I was screaming and shouting at the TV. She turned to me and said, "Daddy, you scare me. I'm never watching rugby with you again." So, yeah, I really am. I'm passionate about it. It's in my blood. I can't stop it. I can't stop myself from getting lost in the rugby euphoria or emotions, or call it what you will.
Have you ever smashed the telly watching a rugby match?
Yeah, you probably have, mate, watching Arsenal.
Yeah.
I learned. I watch it from a distance.
There's probably a poster of you at how's that? Heckle and Jekyll. Watch out for the
Jackal,
Yeah.
I've smashed a few cups, but I've never smashed a TV. I've come close. Don't get me wrong, I've come close, but I've always made sure that I've got something in the vicinity that I can throw that that isn't as expensive as a brand new TV, right? Or I just storm out. I just storm out, so out of the room. So, yeah. There we go. Cool. All right, guys. Is there anything else, or should we just get Eileen back on so that she can say her goodbyes? Because we've been going for an hour.
Yeah.
No, I'm good. I can't wait for this to be over. Just like the Liverpool slump.
Honestly, though, Jack, I think you make a salient point there. I think a lot of pundits are focusing on the likes of Manchester United and Manchester City, right? Leicester, I don't know if they'll win the Premier League, but they'll put a run in. They'll definitely put a run in for the title.
Well, the last time they won the Premier League, we all said that they're just there. They're not going to win it, but eventually they won it. So I'm not discounting. History will repeat itself, so I'm not discounting that.
History will repeat itself. Cool. Eileen, are you still there, or have you left us?
Hello? Can you guys hear me?
Still there?
Yeah,
we can
I'm
hear you.
here. I was so fascinated how passionate you guys about rugby. And I learned a lot from a lot of things from you. So I know that rugby is very big, right, in England or so, because my dad used to watch it, but I got bored. I'm so sorry. Maybe because I'm a girl, but
Okay. Don't
But
worry about it. Don't worry about it.
but I actually have a friend's son actually plays rugby in New Zealand. I just forgot what
Wow.
team. Yeah, so he got drafted to play in New Zealand. So I didn't know that rugby is still is a big thing for a lot of people also. So but anyway, guys, I'm really honored to be part of your first show for this year. And I hope to personally meet you all sometime in the future, in the near future, and hopefully play golf with all of you.
Absolutely. Eileen, I'm going to
Yes,
book
sounds great.
Jet and Mike a lesson with you over the next couple of weeks, just so they can meet
Sure,
me.
Let's do
I'll
it.
be in that. I'll be on that lesson too. Eileen, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Jet,
you.
Mike, Ollie.
Cheers, guys.
Thank
Have a
you.
good evening.
Take care.
Have a great evening.
See you
Bye.
guys. Have a good week.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.